Yeah, it's nearly 7 o'clock in the
Yeah.
evening here. What time is it there?
Okay. 11.
Oh,
So
awesome.
it's I had my second coffee. As a musician, just stand up,
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Well, mate, I've got to say congratulations on the brand new album. I've had a chance to sit down and take a listen to it today, and congratulations.
Thank you. Good to hear that. After almost 1.5 year working on it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that, because that must have been so difficult working on this album while we were all in and out of lockdown.
Well, the lockdown wasn't that problem, but the first problem was in this lockdown situation to come back from Mexico City because we had this South America tour with Aman Amar, and we had to cancel 3 shows. So the plan was originally to fly back from Bogota, Colombia, and then we needed a new flight to come to Germany, and that was quite a hard struggle at the end of March. And we just made it, get the last tickets for the plane, overbooked, and so on. And the original plan was, at the same time, when we will come back from South America, we will start with the songwriting process. That was the same time the lockdown situation, the pandemic situation. So this wasn't really different for us to write a new album, because we are, in that case, completely separated from the world as well, just like living in a cave or something like that. You can call it escapism or whatever. It's quite normal for POWERWOLF to write new songs in their own universe. That wasn't the problem. The thing was that, for example, we always have a little live break in summer to play the summer festivals, to breathe fresh air, to get some power from the audience. The most difficult thing was at the end to travel. The travel situation was quite difficult. So normally the plan was to record the songs in Sweden. So we switched to the Netherlands because we thought it would be easier to travel with the car to the Netherlands. But just 1 week before that, the government told us it's not allowed to travel. So as you can hear, that was a difficult situation. So to come to the studio, the most easy thing to travel was difficult, and that was a little bit of pressure for us because we really wanted to record this new stuff because we were so happy with the new songs. And finally we made it, and I'm sitting here and can talk to you, so I'm really happy and grateful to have that right now.
Yeah, you mentioned you couldn't go and record it at that very time. How did you end up recording it? Did you end up having to go to a different studio, or did you have to change the whole way that you went about recording it?
Well, we decided to go to the Centerland Studios to use Vandenbroek. He was also the co-producer for this album. He did the orchestrations and the choir stuff, and he was involved very, very early in the songwriting process to put on these elements. And we love also that studio. It wasn't that problem, but the normal decision was to make it with Jens again, because he did the Sacrament of Sin album as well. But to fly in this situation was a little bit too risky to make it. And yeah, one thing was also to make the rehearsal, to rehearse the new songs. But at the end, when we did it, we got these test opportunities, we got this quick test stuff and everything, so we could it quite safe, because it's very important for Paul to play the song a little bit live, that we can recognize will the songs work in the live situation. It's always important for us, and I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we have 11 live songs, so it would be a hard struggle to choose which of the songs we will play live.
Yeah. You are very much a live band. What was that like for you guys, not only having to end the South American tour early, but then not having any shows for the rest of the year? That must have been really strange for you guys, because you do heavily tour.
Yeah, you are completely right. We are, or talking to, for me, it's like, I'm completely addicted to play live. I like to be on the road. It's like, people hates me here at home when I'm too long at home. That means I like to be on the road in the tour bus, talking to the fans, talking to my crew, talking to the bus driver, talking whatever, and be on stage, feel this adrenaline, to feel the energy from the audience, give my energy to the audience. And sometimes it felt a little bit like, where are my drugs?
Yeah.
Where is it? And that was quite a difficult situation for me, even when sometimes I'm doing something like that, watching some Wacken videos for POWERWOLF. It's like, oh my god, what? It was so good there. And then I turned it around and said, come on, my thing is now to write a new album, to record a new album, to bring that power to the album. That's my responsibility as a musician. And we turned it a little bit around to have it. And then now in this situation, I don't know why, but I'm more optimistic than whatever, half a year or two or a year ago. So I'm quite sure that this situation, the life situation, will come back, and that's my goal, my aim, my whatever.
Yep. Have they kind of given you
that keeps me alive?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have they given you a kind of rough timeline about when you will be able to tour again? Because here in Australia, we're finally getting some live music, but it's all Australian artists, so there's no bands travelling into the country. But have they given you a timeline of when you might even just be able to tour in Europe?
Not at all. Not at all. We saw that in Australia, I saw that in Israel, I saw that in Barcelona, the 5,000 people indoor concert, that are always like, oh, what are they doing? And but I heard about that. You said it's only Australian bands.
Yeah.
So we don't have any timeline. That's the most difficult part on it. If the government would say, okay, this year no concerts are allowed, or this year only German bands can play German cities, you could plan that, but no one knows it, and that's also not only bad for the bands, it's also bad for our fans.
Yeah.
Because they were buying already tickets for the tour in autumn, and they're looking forward to it, and then, but everybody, will it be postponed? What is it? That's not good for no one, and I don't know. That could be better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
But as I said, I'm quite optimistic that something will happen. People can't live without the music and can't live without the life situation.
Yeah.
Not only working people 9 to 5, 5 days in a week or whatever, and then go to bed. You know what I mean? They need POWERWOLF.
Yeah.
They need heavy metal. They need live music. That's it.
Yeah, bands here are still really nervous organising gigs as well, because as soon as there's a couple of breakouts of COVID in a city, they close the borders between states here. So there's been a few bands that have organised a tour and then found that they've had to leave cities off the tour because the state borders have closed. So yeah, it is still a very weird time here as well.
Bad.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So taking it back to the writing process of this album, what kind of things were inspiring you guys when you sat down to work on this album?
That's a difficult question, because we never felt like that we have a certain moment or just a certain thing that I could mention. But we always say, I don't know if it's said in English, we feel like a spoon or something like that, that everyone what you see on tour in your life, in everyday life, on stage, that influences us, and we develop some ideas that are already in our minds. And we are not a band, for example, who is writing new songs on the tour bus. We completely hate that, because we want to feel what's live, what's on stage, and so on. And my impression is, when we have this break to write new songs, these elements we saw over the couple of years, or the 2 years, gives us some influences. And of course, the Segmented Cinema album was like I don't know, a possibility that we dare more to write even more freely, and to trust that we always sound like POWERWOLF. That's like the next step, So it's hard to say that there's some point to mention it right here.
Yeah. Did you feel more pressure because the last album did so well? Like people voted it as the best album of the year and things like that. Did that put more pressure on you, or did that actually make you feel freer to work on this album?
Also a good question. There's always pressure for us, but not in this thing that the last album was so successful, and it was the most successful album. You are right, but it's more the pressure that we gave us. Like, come on, we want to do our best, and even is it better than the Sacrament of Sin album, or is it? It's not a question. We have to feel happy about the result. We are happy, but in this process, it is always a struggle. You write a lot of songs, and you have a lot of songs that you throw away. And the process is always, it's hard. But when we had this pre-production and we listened to the new songs in the pre-production version, it was like a small smile on my face. It's like, oh my God, that could work for us. And the impression was people could like that. It's always like that. And then it felt right. But the pressure is always, I always say, it's like if you have an empty paper, or or you start with that, it's always, oh my God, what can we do now?
Yeah.
But are there any ideas left? Because we've written already 7 albums. Oh my God, that is always a hard thing. But then you came to the point that it's, I will not say, you can say you will go with the flow and you get it. Then you recognize, come on, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's a strong feeling. That's a strong feeling, yeah.
Yeah, you released the artwork on Facebook a couple of days ago as well, and I am a huge fan of album artwork. It's why I can't get my head around digital recordings. I need a physical copy, but that is amazing artwork for the front cover. Tell us a little bit about who designed that front cover, because that looks absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. The idea came from Matthew. He scribbled it. I know this Scrabble on a small paper, but the artwork was designed by Sofia Dankova. She also did the artwork for Misa Cantorum and for every artwork for POWERWOLF in the last couple of years. It's also a good story because at the beginning she's quite young, and we contacted her because we saw a Scrabble video that she made on YouTube for POWERWOLF thing. I don't know, I can't remember it right. But she's also a fan of POWERWOLF. We met her at a show, and we said, could you design something for us? And we saw the first result, and it was awesome. So for this album, again, we contacted her, and Matthew gave her some detailed Scrabble things, the idea. Yeah, and I love this artwork because there are so much details on it. And as you can see, the wolf behind this, hold the balance between good and bad. And on this cover, you see the angels are falling. That means who won the game here? What's going to happen? Is it really? What is it? Is the evil in the world, the demons, they win the game? Do they win the game? But in the end, there's a wolf behind, and he could handle it.
Yeah.
And hold the balance. And it's always what we like to describe, not only black and white, there are gray colors in the world, in religion and everything. But if you see this artwork, for example, it's so strong, it has so much power. That's also the message for Call of the Wild. Be strong, survive this situation, survive whatever, take the power of it. And I saw the artwork and absolutely laughed at that. It reminds me a little bit, of course, of the Iron Maiden styles with Eddie. And there were also a lot of details on their cover, and we have it a little bit in the same way. If you look close to it, it's like you can see some crosses, some nuns, some priests, some whatever, soldiers. And I love it. And even for the artwork for Misa Cantorum, the bonus album, there are also so much details on it with our guest singers. So, yeah, great artwork again.
It is, yeah.
Sure, right now.
I can't wait to get a bigger version so I can put it on my wall, actually. And
yeah.
I know we are running out of time very, very quickly. So I guess before I go, I would love to ask, is there anything you would like to say to your Australian fans out there before they get a chance to go out and grab Call of the Wild?
I would say stay strong over there, and then listen to Call of the Wild, get power, and I hope we can make it one day to come back to Australia. The plan that was already the plan for last year, and I hope we can do it one day to come back to your country.
Definitely, we look forward to that day so much. Stay safe, and hopefully we do get to see you very, very soon.
I hope so. Thank you for the interview.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you later.
Thank you, Dave. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.